Welcome to Drew and Lou's review of
F is for Family.
Starring Bill Burr, Laura Dern, Justin Long.
And a bunch of other people.
A lot of actors that are voice actors. So how did we start watching F is for Family, Louise?
Well, this started probably a year or so ago. I started listening to Bill Burr's stand-up comedy. And
blown up comedian.
He's very raunchy and like, I don't know, derogatory towards women.
Non-politically correct.
Yeah, but he, like at first he rubbed me the wrong way, but then I started liking him. I just loved how like brutal and
he's very
abrasive,
blunt with people.
Yes, and I like that. So I was a fan of him, and then I was like, hey Drew, you should start listening to this guy.
And you introduced me to him, and I just recognized the name now. Anytime I was on YouTube, I was like, Bill Burr, okay. Louise knows who that is. So I started watching him, and then I became a fan. So then we were both fans of his stand-up. And we'd always kind of heard, because you listened to his podcast, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's called the Monday Morning Podcast.
It's good stuff on there. I've tuned in here and there. But I've always heard about the F is for Family show on Netflix. But every time I saw an ad for it, I was like, this is a cartoon. I don't watch cartoons. Why would we watch that?
To do.
Yeah, I was like, I like his stand-up, but I don't probably need to watch. It reminded me of Family Guy, because like family in the title,
like, King of the Hill, kind of that type of
the animation style,
like adult cartoon.
Right, exactly. But right before we got married, actually, I think we were like, you know what, we like Bill Burr. Let's give this a shot. You know, let's try it out. I think we finished one of our Netflix shows, and we were like, "Yeah, we like Bill Burr. Let's try."
What else were we watching? Big Mouth.
Yeah.
So he says we don't like cartoons, but I don't know. We've been watching a few.
We just go through all of Netflix now. That's why we're doing this show.
We're pros at binging.
So we started it, and we were instantly hooked.
Yeah, and then on our honeymoon, we watched like a whole season or 2 seasons. I can't remember. Didn't we finish it on our honeymoon?
I think we finished it right before, like a couple weeks before season 3 dropped. But what specifically about the show? What do you like about F is for Family?
It's real. Like
even though it's not live action.
No,
the stories and everything.
I just mean like the plot of it. Like it feels real. You become emotionally connected to the characters, and you get to experience what life was like. Is it in the 70s?
Yeah.
Like 74, 75?
Or
is it 85?
I think it's in the 70s. But for the most part, Bill is writing a show based around his family, and what
upbringing.
Primarily his dad. What he experienced from his dad, who's the protagonist of the show, Frank Murphy, who's just kind of this angry, upset, like nothing goes my way, just like it's the
like,
classic.
Woe is me, very cynical.
It's the classic like dad trying to make everyone happy story, but at the same time, dad like loses it constantly, and he can't stop.
Failing. He's trying and he's failing, and it makes him mad.
I hate school.
Well, I hate my life, but I keep on doing it.
I think there's a whole story just to the intro of that show. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
It's a really beautiful intro.
The theme song is great, by the way. It's so catchy.
Come and Get Your Love.
Yeah, I love that kind of music, like oldies.
I recognize it. I recognize it from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
But I didn't listen to the old timey music like you did. But
explain the theme song and like what happens in the.
It's "Come and Get Your Love," and it starts out with him really young, graduating high school. He throws his hat off and just starts flying in the air like there's no problems. He's free. He's independent.
We all think it's that way at first.
He's flying around for a while, and a draft notice flies in his face. And then he's instantly in a military outfit.
Right.
So he went to Vietnam, and he served in Vietnam, but the show's not about that.
Is there a wedding cake that
I think
passes by?
a baby bottle hits him.
Oh, okay. Right.
And he wears a classic dad outfit with like the brown pants and the white button up. And then a pair of glasses hits him.
Yeah.
His hair recedes back. He gets all stocky. And his
he gets that classic beer gut.
Right. He gets the beer gut. And then this like giant cloud of things start coming at him.
Yeah, like bills and like just things that
diapers and it's just there's a whole beautiful story, I think, in just that intro.
Like 20 seconds long, but it's his whole life kind of flashing before his eyes.
He's like, oh my god, I can't keep up. And there's lawnmowers, and he's like, I gotta stay on top of everything. But as the show goes on, you find out he had this dream of becoming a pilot, and that was like his ambition. But as there's more and more flashbacks as the show goes on, you find out that their firstborn child that he has with Sue, who's played by Laura Dern, is kind of what made them delay a lot of their dreams. So,
right. And I think that's pretty common actually for people to
really
push off their dreams to have children, whether it's by accident or intentionally. Oh, another thing I wanted to say is with the beginning theme song, I like the metaphor of like how his life is passing by without him like being like intentional with his choices. Like things are just happening. Like
he's not in control.
Right. It's like the out of control feeling, and I can relate to that.
I think a lot of people do. That's why I think the show does so well, and they've made it to a third season. Is that this is a comedy. Like most of the time, you will be laughing or slightly concerned for what's going on with the family and how they're handling everything. But
there's some really hilarious moments, like
he has like classic one-liners like, "I'll put you through that wall," like he's always threatening to throw one of his kids through the wall.
There's a lot of like emotional verbal abuse that's happening between him and his family, but he
calls his kids like, I don't know, accidents all over the place, and it's like, no one wanted you here either, like he's always kind of
he's
abusing
very witty
them,
and sarcastic towards them,
right?
Like if they try to, I don't know, say something to him, he just has a one-liner right back at him.
He always can roast anyone right back at him immediately. So
Wilbur.
there's a lot of comedy, but what I appreciate about the show is how depressing it actually gets. It gets super sad.
Yeah.
Like I think it's in season 1 where Sue's character, his wife, is assorting all of these plastics that she's gonna sell.
So she works for this kind of like pyramid scheme. It's like an MLM, multi-level marketing kind of thing, like Tupperware that she sells to like other moms and stuff, and she's home alone for the day, and she's making sure all her inventory is done, and she has her little checklist of like what she needs to get done that day, and after everything's checked off, she's like, enjoy the rest of the day, and then she just starts crying.
She just sits there all by herself in the house crying. And it like hit me watching that scene, because I was like, this is an animated character, this isn't real, and yet I'm sad because I kind of like, I know how real that is. The fact that
I'm sure there are plenty of women like going through that.
I always had a hard time growing up trying to understand how like, what does my mom do that she enjoys? Like, does she have something that she genuinely
she's a teacher,
is happy with?
That's super fulfilling, and
so I hope so.
But young minds and stuff.
No,
like that.
I just mean like a lot of moms are like devoted to their kids and raising them, and they barely have any times for themselves. Yeah. And when they do, it's like, that was it. That's all I have to look forward to. Like it hurt to watch that, but
because you thought of your own mom,
right? And I think of all the other moms out there that are like just so helpful and so devoted to raising their kids, to the point that throughout the show there's so many scenes like that where I relate to Frank, I relate to Sue, I even relate to the kids sometimes and their frustrations. And what it does is it, going through those bad experiences with the characters, makes you attached to them. So that when there's good moments, when there's happy moments in the show, they're genuinely happy. You actually like, I'll start to smile that Sue and Frank are either getting along or having a good day, as rare as it may be. I appreciate it more because I relate to so much that's going on. So
I do too.
I think that's what catches me about the show. Is like you said,
just
the realism.
Relatability of it. For sure. So what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10?
What is like your perfect show? Is that like The Office?
Yeah. Office to me is like a 10.
It's a little bit different because it's not in the same.
It's
they're
totally
both comedies,
they're different styles of shows, so it's not really fair to put them in the same genre. But I would say that F is for Family is definitely up there. I would either consider it a 9 or close to a 10. Sometimes I think, particularly during the finales, they go a little bit overboard. Specifically, I think season 2 finale, like Frank Murphy works at an airport where his boss hates him and all of his employees, and then all of a sudden, like there's a hostage situation and there's terrorists that hijack the plane, and they're like pointing guns at everyone.
A shootout,
right? And they're like, and Frank's like, I don't care about my life, just shoot me. And they actually shoot him, and he's like, oh my god. And then like the CEO of the company like explodes and blood goes over. It got a little crazy in certain moments. I would say if there was any critiques I had of the show, that would probably be it. It's like sometimes they jump a little too far.
Yeah. And we've experienced that in other shows too, where it's just like there's a format and they just keep trying to,
they get a little formulaic, yeah.
Right. But overall, I really enjoyed the show. I'd rate it probably 8.75.
Oh, what to you? What's a 10?
The Office.
Okay.
But I have to think
we
about
agree
this.
on that. Okay.
I've watched so many shows.
Me too.
I like this show a while back called My Name is Earl.
Okay.
Except Netflix only put like the first 94 episodes. So I never finished it because they never put the rest.
Oh, okay.
I think what else was really good. Ooh, Chewing Gum. I actually really like British comedy.
Okay.
Like I like Chewing Gum. I like The Sick Note, which we watched together. Maybe you can review that another time.
Another time, if you guys want.
Yeah, I'd probably say F is for Family is up there.
I'm excited. I think season 3 took a really interesting twist with the character of Chet and Win-Win, which is basically the overarching plot in season 3 of this neighbor that Frank gets really attached to. Is really nice to him, and he's like a war veteran, so they relate to that. But Frank's always trying to hang out with Chet, but his excuse for always leaving the wife is saying like, well, there's a baby on the way, we're working on the baby room, so I'm hanging out with Chet, but it's for the family,
when in reality it's for himself. He's being selfish.
But that's a very classic and I think real like family relationship. There's people that will
like
not
I'm
be present.
I'm ignoring my family, but it's for your own good.
Right, but they have a fallback. It's like, it's for the baby room. We're designing this room for the house that we're going to add on to. And over time, this conflict, this heat arises between his wife and Chet.
Yeah,
but
because she sees him for who he truly is, which is this like kind of cunning and
she overhears Chet being verbally abusive to his wife.
He's not nice to his wife, and I could kind of relate to her because I'm not technically an immigrant. No, you treat me very well. Like the fact that a lot of I guess white men look for foreign women because they're kind of like I'm not foreign, I'm American. Because they're kind of like, I don't know, easy to mold into your society, and I don't know, I feel like he treated her more like an object rather than his wife. Like he would boss her around and be like, Win-Win, go get us some beers, and she'd be like, okay, Chet, and like walk away all sad. It was just really depressing.
It was sad, yeah, but again, the finale goes a little crazy. It gets a little over the top, but that's probably a running theme with F is for Family. When they do a finale, they want it to be like a big deal.
Yeah,
they want it to be major.
Is.
Yeah, they want a literal finale.
Yeah,
but yeah, I would say I'm excited for season 4, but I know it's going to take a while to come out. But if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry for spoiling it. But if you did stick around anyway, or you have seen F is for Family, please
put a comment down below about what you think about it.
We'd love to hear from you.
Tell us which character you relate to the most. Who do you relate to the most out of everyone?
I mean, I relate to Bill, who's kind of the young, innocent kid through a lot of the show.
You think
sometimes.
You're innocent?
Well, when I was Bill's age, I was innocent.
Yes.
But more and more, I do relate to Frank. I feel like life's going by so quickly.
Yeah.
And
luckily, we don't have any kids or any responsibilities, really.
Yeah, I didn't have to put
bills,
dreams on hold for an unexpected child.
You're living your dream right now. You're
I am. One
of the lucky few.
Yes, but I relate to his frustrations, and I grew up in a family that wasn't that messed up, but all families have drama and conflict and stuff.
For sure. No perfect families.
So, if you guys like this format, please let us know, and what other shows you guys would like us to watch. And if you'd like to,
in about 2 days,
have Louise and I review more stuff together, just let us know.
For sure. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.